I told you back in October of 2014 that only one breeding male white rhino was left on Earth, and that just a total of 6 northern white rhinos at all remained at the time. And now, December 1st of 2015, we are down to just 3 northern white rhinos remaining. There were a series of illnesses for one of the last northern white rhinos on the planet. And unfortunately, that rhino died just a few days ago. This was Nola, a 41-year-old female who lived at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park since arriving in the late 80s from what is now the Czech Republic. The 3 remaining northern white rhinos all live in Kenya, where they're watched 24 hours a day by armed guards. And of the 3 remaining northern white rhinos, there are 2 females and 1 male. The bull rhino, named Sudan, is 42 years old, too advanced in age to reproduce sexually. I hesitate to even call it good news, but the possible silver lining is that sperm samples have been collected and are currently stored in liquid nitrogen in the Czech Republic. And there are plans to do in vitro fertilization, where eggs from a female northern white rhino fertilized with the sperm cells from the now 42-year-old Sudan will be implanted into a surrogate, and it will be a southern white rhino, which is a related species living in the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. And, this is one of those situations, Lewis, where the climate skeptic right likes to say about extinctions, listen, animals come into existence, they go out of existence all the time. God works in mysterious ways, whatever. Even if humans weren't here, animals would be going in and out of existence. That may be true. There is sort of what we call a baseline level of animal extinction, but numerous scientific studies have made it clear now that that rate currently has been accelerated, and it has been accelerated by human activities on Earth. And the northern white rhino is an example of that. There is absolutely no scientific evidence whatsoever that this has been a sort of natural extinction, just the process of the cyclical Earth that we live on, not the case whatsoever. And it is very, very sad.
Yeah, we discussed on a bonus show a while ago that according to some scientists and the rate of different extinctions happening, that we are entering a mass extinction period. And so, yeah, and don't forget, rhinos were one of the most hunted creatures.
Absolutely.
Apart from what we're doing to the environment and all of that, the hunting, Dave, the poaching has been completely out of control.
Now, some people have said, David, you're sort of playing semantics by saying, well, the northern white rhino is almost extinct, but the southern one isn't because they're basically the same animal. It's true that genetically, the northern and southern white rhinos are very, very similar. There are a few RNA markers that can tell them apart in a lab. But the distinction geographically is actually even more interesting because we then can say with even more certitude that actually this is a result of human activities on Earth, because the genetically similar animals are not all dying out. The southern white rhino, which at one point was down to only 20 left, has had a resurgence in population, but that is because it is located elsewhere geographically, and there has been a very deliberate effort to restore that population. So for those who write in and say, David, you're being deceptive, the northern white rhino is the same thing as the southern, and altogether now there are thousands of them. No. The reality of the northern and southern white rhinos actually are more evidence that this is a human-caused thing.
Yeah, and of course they are genetically different. I mean, if that doesn't matter to you, then, whatever. You probably don't feel bad about the poaching. You probably don't feel bad when they'll go extinct. You probably didn't feel bad about the Galapagos tortoises or whatever.
You probably would eat white rhino in that case.
Maybe. Ew.
Is eating rhino meat even a thing? I've never heard of it.
I'm sure you probably can. I would hope that if you were to kill one, you would at least eat it.
Right.
Right?
Hopefully you're not just killing it for sport, is what you're saying.
Yeah.